Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. The United States government, the powers that be, must think we're idiots. And we are idiots. We won't do anything. Republicans and Democrats should unite, even this one topic. Middle of the road Americans should realize that we're being played. This alone, if we were critical thinkers, if we actually cared, this alone would bring down this government. It demonstrates that they don't care about us. They demonstrate that we are nothing to them. The figures came out, and the Biden administration has approved, and this is since, I would say probably 2021, since we withdrew from Afghanistan. I wouldn't call that withdrew. I would call it running with our tails between our legs. But $2.35 billion is approved, and some of this has already been given. A lot of it hasn't, but it's in the process of being given to the Taliban. To me, it's disgusting. As prior military, knowing a few guys that were killed in Afghanistan, a few more that were injured, this is unacceptable. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't care, that just demonstrates how far we are gone, to the point that there's nothing to save. But our fearless leaders, Biden administration, is going to give, when it's all said and done, $2.35 billion. This is to our enemies. This is to a group of individuals that terrorize women on a daily basis. This is to a group of people that wounded over 20,000 Americans, that killed over 2,400. Was it not bad enough that we spent, now sit down, everyone sit down, we spent $2.313 trillion. Let's just round it to $2.3 trillion. $2.3 trillion of money we didn't have, of money we had to borrow, that we will be paying back until we crash. We'll never pay it back. We will collapse, or we'll have hyperinflation, and they'll just print money to pay the debts, which will result in you going to the store to buy a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread, and having to write a check for about $497, literally. This should alone make our representatives in Congress, Senate, even at our State House, demand that we stop this nonsense. $2.35 billion. What are the mothers and fathers and husbands and wives saying that lost loved ones over there? They're saying, okay, my loved one is gone. We left behind $7 billion of good equipment that we really need. There's National Guard units, there's Army Reserve units, there's active duty guys that could use all of the equipment we left. It would enhance their job, make it easier to do their job. The $7 billion is not, the money's not the problem. It's those pieces of equipment are not easy to replace because of logistical problems. I know the powers that be are like, man, I wish we'd have taken that $7 billion and given it to Ukraine. We should have saved it. That's what they're saying. So there's something going on behind the scenes that we can spend $2.3 trillion in Afghanistan on the war. Then we run with our tails between our legs. The withdrawal was so sloppy it cost American service members their lives. Those Marines should not have died. 20,000 people that were wounded. Some of them I know, a couple of them are missing body parts. They will walk around with a prosthetic leg for the rest of their life. A lot of them are bearing scars that you can't see, that they deal with every day. And then, to insult us more, they're giving $2.35 billion to the enemy of our country. Unless maybe they weren't ever the enemy. They were hired so the military-industrial complex can spend more money. We go from one problem to another problem. Iraq, Libya, Syria. Now we're in Ukraine, giving our money away, giving our sweat away, giving our blood away. It's blood. People work hard to pay their taxes. In the process of working, some of them perish. So yeah, we got blood in the game in Ukraine. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with our country? The people in charge do not have our best interest. But we go along. And I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to you. I'm talking liberals, conservatives, Democrats, Republicans. Now we're mixed up in Africa. I've gone through my life thinking America's the good guy. And we are. We are one of the most generous countries, one of the most generous people in the world. But we have a level of corruption in Washington, and I will say also in state houses, all throughout the United States, that is so corrupt, so evil. There is no voting your way out of this one. You cannot vote your way out and fix it. I don't care if you vote Trump back in. He's not going to be able to dismantle decades and decades and centuries of corruption, because man is evil. This alone, the facts that I gave you, should be enough to make this government fall. People should rise up and say, oh, no, no. What are you doing? Will it happen? Probably not. There's so many things that's happening. We're losing men and women, losing money, and now the rest of our natural lives, me and you, we will have to pay taxes just to satisfy the interest on what we spend in Afghanistan. And that's just Afghanistan. It's not counting all the other places, all the other waste. I got no solutions for you. It's definitely not voting. Voting's going to get you nowhere. The solution is deeper. And when you get to that point and you realize the solution is not pretty, as a Christian, you're probably saying, oh, now the government's in charge. God put the government over us. It's the wonderful thing about the government we have. If you actually read the documents, it gives us this pathway when the government is not looking out for us, when it's doing wrong things. We have mechanisms in there, and it's not voting, I will assure you that. We're past the point of voting. Yeah, as a service member, having friends killed in Afghanistan and Iraq, and seeing $2.35 billion since we withdrew is given to the enemy, it's upsetting. It is wrong. But it's going to take every man, woman. It's going to take mama with her frying pan beating on it. It's going to take the truck driver. It's going to take that person cooking your breakfast every morning when you stop in there to grab a biscuit to realize that, hey, we own the power. They don't have the power. We're just too lazy to take the power back. But we need to. Hope you have a good day. Keep prepping. Pray for our country. We deserve to collapse. We deserve to fall apart. Because men and women, generations before mine, have taken the easy road, turned our eyes away first from the Lord, then turned away from right and wrong. We know what politicians are doing, but it's just easier not to shake the boat. I just got to make it to my retirement. Then I can sit on the porch, or I could travel, or I could do this or that. Keep prepping. Pray for our country. Thanks for watching.